evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, his son, and the producer of the show. Now, tonight's title came up as a result of a fun conversation we were having about trauma. Now, an article I read years ago discussed how playing Tetris after a traumatic event can reduce the symptoms of PTSD. And that leads into the question, how are we thinking about things? Because two different people can experience the same trauma and walk away with radically different experiences. So one of the concepts that I'll share with you in restorative yoga that applies here as well with this cognitive vaccine and this idea of bringing ourselves back to center. With restorative yoga, we're putting ourselves in a place of supreme comfort so that we can look at things that are equally uncomfortable. So keeping that in mind, the one cognitive vaccine that I always try to remind people of as much as I possibly can is the one that we all have access to all the time, is our breath. Just remember to breathe and pay attention to what's going on with the breath. And that'll do tremendous things to bring us back to center and where we need to be. So, that all being said, quick piece of housekeeping for anyone out there joining us for the very first time. Be sure to say something in the chat, because otherwise I have no way of knowing you're here. So say something. I'll put you in line for a reading. The first time, of course, it's always free. And then going forward after that, it's $10 per reading. Or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. So thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Great blessings to you. Lighting the incense tonight. Excuse me. Had a frog in my throat. But I'm lighting this incense tonight for you to really, from this moment forward, assist you in remembering your divine origins. And to talk a little bit about this cognitive vaccine, most of us are familiar with the game of Tetris, where shapes are falling and you put them in a particular order as they're falling, and you have control of that. Well, the studies that they've done, and you can look this up. You know, I just Googled, because Kenan was telling me about it. He learned about it a few years ago. But the studies they've done on it is if you experience a traumatic event, try within the next few hours after that traumatic event to play Tetris. And what that does is it kind of confuses the brain and it ends up not putting a lot of that traumatic event into your long-term memory, because you can divert it with Tetris. Interesting. Now, those are some physical aspects we can do. The other thing is that I've talked about on the show, it's called EMDR. It stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR. And you can look that up. I'm myself and Ken and I are trained in EMDR. It is best to do with someone, but it is also really helpful. I've showed you this exercise where you just start low, you go slowly with a positive intention, and work around in circle eights, watching, keeping your chin absolutely centered, and just moving your eyes, repeating your intention over and over and over again. And you may notice some people I've worked with, they think all of a sudden they have a memory problem because they'll get up into a certain range and completely forget what they're saying. And that's the area of the brain that recorded maybe that traumatic event, and what you're doing is just simply recording over it. Now, that is a very basic explanation of that. But I wanted to cover a couple of these cognitive vaccines to remove what is no longer serving you. That's what I do. So during the reading, I try to frame it in the most positive way possible, right? And to be able to assist you to remember your divine origins. And let me tell you this, and I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. So if you want to write this down, here's the message. All that you've chosen in this lifetime is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. You've been sticking to the plan. Good job. All that you have chosen in this life, what you've experienced, what you've gone through, is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. Now, if any of you have gone to college or signed up for a course and you get into the course and going, oh my God, why did I sign up for calculus? Why did I sign up for algebra? Why did I sign up for advanced English? What's a preposition? Oh. And so sometimes we get into this life and we go through these things and we go, I didn't sign up for this, but I actually did. So I'm here to tell you, you're doing a great job. And be free of grading yourself, because you're going according to this evolutionary plan. And all that you have chosen is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. That is the group card tonight. This is the card of Horus. It's called Soul Star Activation. So we've talked about this before, but I want to remind you, this Soul Star Activation is it's a chakra that is about 6 inches above your head. And so, excuse me, people that get lightheaded, this can be sometimes this Soul Star chakra being activated. It connects you directly with your soul's wisdom. So it helps you to really remember your divine origin. It's this area that holds all the lessons from past incarnations. It's also the area where the downloads from spirit or from source come. Horus is of course, excuse me, god of the Egyptian god of wisdom and higher thoughts. So connecting with this improves your psychic vision. And really remember where we came from. Remember our divine origins. So before you came here, every one of you, you set up really strong intentions to remember your divine origins. It's why you're on this show. It's something I've pursued my whole life. But and to remember that you're making a difference in your own life. You are making progress. But there's a reason when your children are growing up, you stand them in the doorway and mark the doorway, because you can't visually see them grow. So then a month later, you mark it again, or 6 months later, you mark it again. A year later, mark it again. That gives you an idea of the growth. So I'm asking you to take a look at your doorway metaphorically speaking, and look how far you've come. Look at the progress you've made. That is the whole point behind this card. It's called the Soul Star Activation. Fulfilling your soul contracts, which you're doing, and remembering who you are, your divine origins. Okay. All right, my dear Marilyn. You're on first. Here we go. So many times you read stories about people that win the lottery, Marilyn, and then within a few months it's all completely gone because they haven't been taught how to deal with money, right? This is asking you to take a look at your journey from scullery maid to Empress, and demanding from the universe what it is you want, how you want it to be. So as an Empress, you have access to benefits more so than a scullery maid. So I'm using this as an illustration about the progress that you've made and the resources. That's the word I was thinking of. That's the word I was trying to get to, and I got it. The Empress has resources available to her that may not be available to the scullery maid, or that the scullery maid isn't really aware of. So for instance, you've been collecting or drawn to certain stones. You've been having certain downloads. Those type of things you can use for gauges or marks on the doorway about how far you've grown. So your guides are wanting to remind you that you're this Empress. And I'm going to share this with everyone on the show. If we could put the list back up again, that'd be great. To remind Laurel, John, Kat and Jared, Sonia, Marilyn, Abby, Doreen, Lindsay, Austin, Brooke Carter, Tim Frazier, that you have this access to these resources, and some of them you're not even really aware of. But this is connecting to that soul star, right? That chakra that's about 6 inches above your head. And clearing out what no longer serves you, and ask the universe, ask your connection, ask your source to do that, and then to show you these resources that actually help to heal mentally, spiritually, physically. One of the things I would suggest, Marilyn, is hiring, as an Empress, a court jester. So if you've ever read any books by Norman Cousins, Norman Cousins wrote a book, and can you look that up, Norman Cousins, what book he wrote? I can't think of the name of it right now. This was like 40, 50 years ago. Anyway, he became very ill. I think it was cancer. I'm not sure what illness it was, but he started watching old comedies like Laurel and Hardy, The Three Stooges, and he would sit and he would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And laughter literally was the best medicine for him. This is where it's asking you to hire a court jester, not, I'm talking metaphorically, but watch things that make you laugh. They can be old movies, cartoons, I don't care what it is, that are really funny to you. The Far Side, for me, makes me laugh. You know, the cartoon. And so that may be, oh, and you won $200 on scratch-off tickets today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to point that out. Thanks.
Okay. So you might be able to hire a court jester for a couple of hours then. I love it. I love what I do. I love the fact that all of you are on the show because it's moving you into being able to love what you do and love what you're good at. It's really heartening. So this is a great reminder. Universe, show me my resources now and how to use them. Universe, show me my resources now and how to use them. Okay? All right. All right, my dear Laurel. Singing from the heart. Texas representing.
Was there something specific you wanted to share about Norman Cousins?
Oh, yeah. What was the name of the book? Kennan's looking up Norman Cousins for us.
Well, he led the Saturday Review for 3 decades. He did all of these, like...
Yeah, but he wrote a book. Just put in Norman Cousins' book. Anyway,
There's so many. Human Options, The Pathology of Power, The Celebration of Life, Human Options, The Healing Heart. Is that it?
yeah, he actually wrote several books. But it had to do with the laughter. Anyway, let's jump to Laurel here.
Sorry.
This is the, if we can keep the name list up, that'd be great. Thank you. So this is the peace card. Laurel, anywhere that you're consciously or unconsciously creating a distraction, anywhere where there is any self-sabotage going on for whatever reason on like a subconscious level, are you willing to remove that now and let it go? So I'm going to speak from my own experience here. You know how people are, it's difficult for them to admit that they're wrong or admit that they maybe hurt somebody else? When we allow certain things in our lives, like, I don't know, a job or relationship or whatever it is, it sometimes can be difficult to admit that we've hurt ourselves. And so to avoid that grieving process of hurting ourselves, we just kind of keep going. This is where it's bringing you more peace to kind of go ahead and go through the sadness and go, you know what, I really did that to myself. And then move on. This is laying down the swords. It's creating this peace. You did the best you could at the time you did it. So all that you've chosen is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. Okay, that's what's important. And to learn from it, but then to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive yourself, forgive yourself. This is the peace that excels all thought. Comes in through this chakra, right? The soul star activation chakra. And it's coming in big time for you, like really big time. But if you're feeling a little sad, sometimes it's that sadness moving through of this realization, oh, I kind of hurt myself. You know how sometimes, this one friend of mine, we were on a road trip and she fell and she hurt her wrist. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, turns out 3 days later, we ended up taking her to an emergency room out of town and she had broken her wrist. And she's like, no, I'm fine. You know what? Sometimes we're not fine. But that telling ourselves that we're fine keeps that cap on the lid of these emotions. And so this is, let the peace come up. Let me put it this way, Laurel, and I'm talking to everybody on the show. Sonia, everybody. You know when, like the plumber works on your pipes, and then you turn the water back on and there's kind of like sludge or dark water or dirt water coming out. And then it's followed by pure water. That's what it's like. It's like when the peace starts to flow, bleh, the dirty water, the sludge comes up. Just let it come up because you know there's pure water, there's peace coming through. Whew, that was a good one. Thank you. All right, my dear John. John, I'm safe in the mystery. 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 And I can call you on this one, but because John and I talk at least a couple of times a week. But I'm safe in the mystery. And how we can talk ourselves out of things. Because if you don't feel safe in the mystery doesn't really reveal itself to you. It's like I tell people, you know, your loved ones, they're definitely there, but they just don't want to scare the crap out of you. You know, because people always go, well, how come I can't see them? How come, you know, I don't hear them? Because they just don't want to scare the crap out of you. Because many people's minds aren't ready. They don't have the neural pathways built to be able to see that. But it's a mystery. So this is like, it's absolutely important to be safe in the mystery, to be safe in the mystery. Then it allows the mystery to come in. Because if you're safe and you do these integrations around I'm safe in the mystery. So like Kat, Jared, Marilyn, Abby, that integration, I'm safe in the mystery. Really important for you, John. All right, my dear Kat and Jared. Dr. J, Missy K. Balance. Anywhere, Jared, that you're feeling or being responsible for keeping the balance, are you willing to let go of that right now? And allow balance just to simply come in. It's working hard toward the balance that creates the imbalance. It's pushing or striving or trying to create a balance. So, isn't it Hinduism? Is it Hinduism? No, it's, where's the feather? What's the legend with the feather and the
Egypt.
heart? Egypt. Okay. So I see Tim's on here tonight. So it says that when you die, an Egyptian legend is that when you die, there's a feather. They take your heart out and they put it on one side of the scale, and then there's a feather on the other side of the scale. And if it's balanced, then you go to the good place. I don't know what they call it in Egypt, but you go to this realm. But it's this, the heart creates the balance. And just be dedicated on working from your heart, doing things from your heart rather than your head trying to figure it out. That can unweigh the scales, that can balance it out. And just trust that it's all going to balance out. You don't know how. It's a mystery, but you're safe in the mystery. So thanks, John, for pulling that card. Okay. All right, my dear cat. You guys really brought up some great stuff tonight. Like, really, really powerful. Thank you. Kudos. Cat. Abundance. Cat, this is, you get these cards a lot. Like, you get the message a lot. So, anywhere you've had a belief system that you have to work hard for abundance, are you willing to let that go? There's an imbalance there. Good job. That's really good. And just simply allow the abundance in. So I'm going to mention this for some of the new people that are on this show. And Brooke Bellamy Carter, thank you, John's friend, for being here. I know you're first time on the show. I'm pulling a card for each of you, but each card applies in some measure to all of you in one way or the other. So, Kat, we all get these phenomenal messages. You all get these phenomenal messages that this soul activation chakra is bringing down. This is the what if, Kat? I'm just asking this. What if abundance was effortless? Whoa, what a concept, right? Laurel, are you hearing me? What if abundance was effortless? That might be a really good mantra. Bathroom mirror, refrigerator door, bedroom ceiling, computer, abundance is effortless. I like that. Thanks, Kat. You done good. All right. Sonia, Cafe Chick. I love it. All right. Sonia, my dear. Unbound. Anywhere where you were a baby elephant tied with a chain to a post. And then when you were a teenage elephant, they changed it, the chain, to a rope. And then anywhere as an adult elephant, they used a string. Anywhere where you have bound yourself, are you willing to let go of that now and move into the boundless, the what they call the unbound, the multiverse? And are you willing to let go of the word can't? Because can't is won't. So when any of us say, I can't do that, you're saying basically, I won't do that. Rather say, universe, how is this possible? Because it's a multiverse. It's a multiverse. Anything is possible if you believe it's possible. It is not fanciful thinking. It would be viewed as miraculous. But all miracles are simply yet undiscovered science. And Brooke says, so funny today how the universe works. I met John today in a real estate class, and we live in the community. Crazy because my kids and I are starting over, and this was the community that chose us. Yeah, exactly. So that's absolutely true, Brooke, where things are drawn and these messages that are coming, and you're coming up, so stay on, because we do it in order that people come onto the show. This is for you, Sonia. Universe, what is possible here other than what is possible beyond my imagination? There you go. That's a good one. So everybody on the show, can we use that term? Universe, show me now what is beyond my imagination. Okay. Awesome. Great. All right, my dear Marilyn and Abby. So Marilyn, you've taught, you teach. If someone is adamant that 1 + 1 = 5, and you draw it out on the board, you show them an apples, one apple, another apple is 2, but they insist that it's 5, that is an illusion. These illusions that people have protect them, what we were talking about earlier sometimes, from experiencing I was talking to Laurel about experiencing the sadness or the grief of what they've done to themselves. Oh, no, my wrist is fine. It's not broken. No, it's fine. Yeah, it hurts a little bit. It prevents them from actually going to a doctor and getting it in a cast. The message here is there are some people that want to stay in their illusion. So they go buy lottery tickets, go buy lottery tickets, go buy lottery tickets, but they don't work. They don't help other people. And so they can be caught. That's an example, just one example of it. They're caught into an illusion. So this is where your discernment is like, I can spend days and weeks trying to convince people that 1 + 1 is not 5. What you focus on now, and it may narrow down your group, set your intention of only working with people that know that 1 + 1 is 2, that they have the neural pathways, they have the brain power to do it. I worked with a student today that had been in prison for 12 years, and I spent an hour and a half on the phone with him because he really wanted to get it. Something that should have taken maybe 5 minutes, I was fine. Because I could tell he really wanted to get it. That's fine. And so this is your discernment growing, and that it's okay for you to drop off those people that are argumentative, because they like to get, people like to argue just for the fact of sucking energy from you. Homie, don't have time for that no more. Okay? If mama ain't happy, nobody happy. So this is mama being happy. All right, Abby. I love this. So let me just share with you. You are pulling these cards. Do you understand that? Okay, I know that's a mystery to you, maybe some of you. You are pulling these cards. Your higher self is connected. You're pulling these cards, and these are the messages that are coming through. So these are profound. Like some of you will text me after the show, and I go, Ken, what did I say to her? And he's like, I don't know. And some of you will call me after a reading. That's why I say, if you're going to have a reading, record it or take notes, right? If you have a personal reading, record it or take notes. Because it's coming from this higher source. So just great messages for you and from you. And Abby, this is very similar to Marilyn's card. Truce. This is like Laurel's card with peace. Are you okay with not knowing? So this is kind of like John's card about being okay with the mystery. I'm safe with the mystery. I'm safe and okay by not knowing. I'm safe and okay to not know. Or I'm safe and okay to not know now. It's like coming down the pike for you. But it's like understanding. I think I told you this story before. One time our neighbors were Italians. They moved here from Italy, and they invited us over for this meal. Well, I didn't know Italian customs. So they brought out the food, and it was these, they're Italian dumplings, and they were just off the chart. And I just filled up on the dumplings. I had no idea that there were 7 more courses coming, and that they had worked for days to prepare this. And This is like you just taking one piece at a time. You're coming to it. This is your Italian meal. You know what I'm talking about, okay? This is your Italian meal, Abby, where you're getting a course at a time, and it's all coming together for you. So lay down any negativity that you're not getting it or that you're not understanding it. Just go. You don't sign up for college and go to the first class and pretend to know it all or expect to know it all the first day. You're on the right course. This is laying down any of those negative self-talk or negative speech. I'm getting it. Oh, I'm getting it. Okay? All right. All right, Doreen. Hey, my dear Doreen. I think that picture, that crystal you sent me, it looks like a smoky quartz, or it looks like it could be a Lemurian, but I can't really tell from the picture. But if you just look up the meaning of quartz, there's even an app that is a rock identifier, but you have to buy it. And I just don't do that. I just Google it. All right, my dear Doreen. So confidence. So you guys, Doreen, you see how these are, Kenan makes these, right? So I wear these bracelets, but sometimes I forget what rocks they are. I just know how they make me feel. And I kind of know what they do, but I sometimes don't know the name of them. I don't know where this knowledge exactly comes from when I'm doing a reading for people. But I know the feeling of it. I know how it comes through. This is you having the confidence. So you're a lot like old-time pioneer women. They didn't write any recipes down. It was just kind of passed on, and it was through intuition and just kind of an inner knowing as to what worked. They weren't necessarily following any recipes other than their intuition. This year is about your confidence. This isn't just a little sprinkle, girl. This is like a downpour of confidence and I'm relating it to food for you because you're a world-class chef, and everybody she is. Like, if you ever see anything on Facebook, Laurel will vouch for this for me, where we ordered Doreen's treats around Christmas time that she made with Rice Krispies I used them as stocking stuffers. It's that kind of an intuition, and that's going to be coming through more. So this is how you know this source, this soul star activation chakra is being activated with you because of this building of confidence. And you're going to be speaking to more, I want to call them dignitaries, but celebrities. Definitely. And this confidence is important. And you have it, you know it, speak confidently. That's growing. That's what's happening this year for you. Okay, Lindsay and Austin.
Maryland has a Facebook group.
Oh, there's a Facebook group called Crystal Community. Oh my God, thank you, Marilyn Pitts. There's a Facebook group, Doreen, called Crystal Community that can help people identify their crystals and rocks. Oh, and Doreen says, I have salted caramel coming. Okay, everybody, pay attention to your Facebook. And then Marilyn Pitts has this, Doreen, this Crystal Community it's a group called Crystal Community. All right, good. Lindsay, there's fairness and then there's unfairness. All that's happened in your life is in accordance with this your soul's evolutionary plan. You've chosen, and kudos to you, you've chosen some really, really challenging situations. But girl, you're in the doctoral level. And so if your energy goes to what is fair or unfair, it polarizes it. Step back and just observe it, free of judgment as to what is fair or unfair. So one of my clients was a twin, and their mother would buy him like a candy bar, and she would hand the candy bar to one of them, and the mother would say, "One divides, the other decides." So one of the twins would cut really carefully, exactly down the middle. She was the one that divided the candy bar, because the other twin was going to decide which half they wanted. And so the mother would observe this and get the biggest kick out of it, because they would take a long time trying to cut that candy bar in two and make it exactly, measure everything. This is about being out of judgment around what is fair or what is not fair, because if you get into the unfairness of it, then your energy goes toward that, and then it creates more unfairness. This is looking back and seeing the bigger picture. And that's what's coming for you this year, even more so, is this awareness where your energy doesn't get tied up into fairness or unfairness, or that polarity. It simply is, and some people have to go through their tests, their exams, their learning. However difficult it may appear to you, this is like Marilyn's card about the illusions of success. Sometimes people just want to stay in that illusion, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Yeah, I like that, Dr. Lindsay, right? Okay, Austin. First time you got on a bike, you probably fell over. Or were at least not really proficient at it, right? You were at least wobbly with it. Was that a failure? So anywhere where you've identified, I'm talking now, this is a young person, anywhere you've identified as a failure. Like I was in a relationship, I'll give you an example, one time where I couldn't load the dishwasher correctly. I would load the dishwasher and they would get really all upset and come back and totally unpack it and then repack it according to their liking. And then I internalized that I was wrong or that I was bad. And that was just one tiny example. I'm not going to get into it a lot of in depth. But then I developed because I had internalized it, it actually became part of my identity. And then when I realized that and I did some work around it, I was like, oh my God. It was like exhaust leaving, and there was this sadness that I had done that to myself, that I had allowed that. So any melancholy that might be around you, what if it's just this old pattern leaving? Like we were talking earlier about the plumber coming and working on your pipes, and then you turn the water on and the sludge comes out, but peace comes after it. That's what this is. This is looking at the failures as not failures, but incredible learning. So I'm going to say the same thing as I did at the beginning of the show, same thing I just said to Lindsay, that all that you have chosen is in accordance with your soul's plan. And that plan is becoming more and more evident to you. Okay, Brooke Bellamy Carter, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you met John. I'm so glad you're here. What we do is I shuffle through the cards. I let yourself, your higher self, however you want to term it, your angels, guide, pull the best card for you, for your best and highest. And that just usually jumps out of the deck. So that's why I have the cards up here to show you what happens here. Everybody else on the show is really familiar with this. Mother of Wands. So your mother to very, very gifted children. You're here to show them their magic. The best way you can show them their magic is to show them your magic. This is the creator. This is getting back into your art. Theater. Lindsay is a fantastic artist. Doreen is, chef. John, Laurel's a singer. John, incredible communicator. All of you. It's you moving into this creatorship. But in order to create, you need a little bit more space for yourself, which is coming this year, in order to have a little bit of downtime to where you're able to create. This is a new project. This is a new business that you've been thinking about for a while, that you'll be able to anywhere anyone has criticized your art, so I spoke with one of my clients was a singing teacher one time, and they said the worst thing you can do is to criticize someone else's voice. It's the worst thing you can do because there's not much you can do with your voice. The voice is you, is what I'm saying. I mean, you can train your voice and you can do that, but it's like if you criticize the voice, it's taken very, very personally. So anywhere, Brooke, where your voice has been downgraded or put down or not being meaningful, we clear that now, because what you say, who you are, it matters. This is coming into your voice, and your voice is a creator. It is very eloquent. So this could be your art. This is what's coming up with your art for me. It's like speaking, teaching, growing. And that will truly, truly change your children, help your children. Because you are the mother of wands. Wands is your work. A lot of your work right now here on this earth, your dharma, your life path. That's dharma, life path, is this directing of the children with wands, not sticks, but bibbity bobbity boo magic.
She's a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, and now she's building a legacy for her kids too. That's so perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, Tim Frazier, welcome to the show. Nice to have you, Tim. Tim, the Fool card. You know that that's new beginnings. That is constantly being ready to start all over again, which is letting go of old belief systems that you're not even aware that weren't really serving you. For instance, God doesn't like people celebrating birthdays because it's taking the glory away from Him. I'm telling you my example. Like for 25 years, I taught that, and that's just one tiny example. Hundreds of more. Like, if you don't join my religion, you're done. God does not approve of you. Who is what? It's that type of a thing. It's where I had to completely dissolve and destroy and uncreate anything and everything that was not serving me. And none of those beliefs were serving me to any good. But it was a life path that I had to learn how quickly and easily people can be duped, because I was duped. So this is a brand new beginning for you. Completely new way of looking at things. And I love this because it does look so much like Sedona. Yeah, it does look like.
So he quit his job, and his last day is Wednesday. And it's his birthday too. So
It's your birthday. Happy birthday, dude.
talk about new beginning.
Boom. Talk about new beginnings. Oh my God, my mind is blown. Okay, this is fantastic. So you quit your job. This is brand new beginnings. And it's just going to be freaking amazing. Oh, you know what? I love this. So if many of you are not Arizonans that are on the show, but there's Lake Mead and then there's Lake Powell here in Arizona. Well, Lake Mead is up more by Las Vegas, but Arizona has, let's say, to Lake Powell. And it was getting lower and lower and lower. It was like the lowest it's ever been a couple of years ago. Maybe it was even last year. And now it's really beginning to refill. So that's what I love about this card, Tim, is this is Lake Powell filling back up. You were drained. Like, it's too much. It was too much. This is you filling back up. Holy cow. Good stuff, Maynard. Really great stuff coming. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of you. Thank you all so much for being on the show. I love you all. Let's do this again Wednesday night. Kenan, I want to thank personally. What an incredible show. I could not do this show without him. Extremely gifted. So, love you all. We'll see you Wednesday.